What up, boys? So we got a new series coming to the channel here. We got the path to profitability. All right, I started trading end of August 2025. Bought my first eval in December. Now just working on I've passed evals through CPI and stuff, but working on passing my first genuine eval. Currently in drawdown of one right now, but I will pass this. And then I am also be showing you guys just the path to getting a payout. The path to getting a payout and being profitable with trading. I'm going to upload one video a week. I have a little format breakdown of what I'm going to do for each video. So yeah, one video a week will be uploaded every Friday. Basically, the start of the video will just be a brief intro, talking about the number of the trades I took that week, my wins and my losses. And then I'll briefly go through my mindset, how my thought processes felt that week, and just kind of, my psychology throughout that week. Next will just be the trade recaps. I'll start a recording after every one of my executions, so after I actually take the trade, so you guys get to see the actual path of how that trade goes. And then I will be uploading trade recaps at the end of each trade. So you'll see the executions, you'll see the trade recap, and then you guys will be able to hear about my mindset and stuff before that. And then just a brief closeout at the end of each episode. We'll be talking about just the overall performance of the week, what I was happy with, what I wasn't happy with, and kind of just what I'm cleaning up, learning, and taking into the next week. So this video is only going to have my trade from today. I'm just going to put the trade recap in, not going to put the executions because I had the music playing in the background. I don't want to get copyrighted or anything, so I'm going to, put the trade recap in for this video. At the end of the video, I'll be talking about my mindset and just kind of how I'm feeling coming out of the week. Coming into open, had a pretty bullish bias. We swept all-time highs and previous day highs overnight. So what I was wanting to see was a pullback into one of these high time frame gaps to move us higher. I preferred this lower gap to get hit because it was in OTE. We also had an SMT at London low and Asia low as ES took these lows. So I was leaning bullish. Like I said, wanted to see the pullback into this gap, and that's what we got. We got an SMT with this 15-minute candle here, also tapping us into the last presented 15-minute. This is perfect for what I was needing to see. This is everything I wanted. So basically all I needed here was an inversion. ES also took that gap as well, fully mitigating it. And then we got a very nice reaction on the 1 minute time frame, getting a very strong 1 minute inversion here. ES actually did not inverse the gap as there was only this gap above, but we had so much momentum that I felt comfortable taking it. This 1 minute also closed as a 2 minute fair value gap was forming. Obviously, you guys see that got inversed as well. But I've tested that in back testing before. I've seen that work. I've seen it work with like 3 minutes closing as a 5 minutes about to open. Like, I've seen it work before, so I chose to execute there. I originally wanted to target a 15-minute fair value gap that was up here. We literally edged it by 1 point, and then we started to kind of downtrend. And at that point, I just closed manually. I was like, okay, I don't need that dopamine hit. It was annoying as fuck, but I just closed manually because I knew that, it'd be dumb if I let this come all the way back down. So closed, and it was a great trade, great execution. Pretty happy with this one. So all right, so my trading performance this week started off very lackluster, very slow. I was kind of carrying in the negativities from last week into this week, but finished off yesterday and today really strongly. I was executing while I was taking good trades, was confident in my positions. I was a lot more focused than I was last week and the days before, and just had a really good bounce back. I had a really good discussion with myself last night, just talking about kind of where my mind is at, why I was struggling, why I was going through kind of the trenches a little bit with my trading for the past week before, Thursday. And, I'm a big believer that, thoughts create your reality, right? I always try to direct my thoughts in the right direction, but it was necessary for me here to reflect and kind of just look back on what was going wrong, because I fucked up a lot earlier in the week, like uncharacteristic mistakes that I really haven't made in my whole trading journey yet. And then it just kind of they kind of started to flood in last week. So last week my business was doing very well with like connections, meeting new people, got a lot more traction over the last week or so just because of we had a UFC event in my city, so I was able to make a lot of good content for that. I'm sorry if you guys hear my dog, dude. This fucking guy is so annoying. But yeah, I honestly, my ego was getting a little bit inflated because of how well things were going in the business. You know, I was constantly checking my notifications and just getting like those dopamine hits from like external validation, right? And it totally carried into my trading. You know, every trade I was taking, I was thinking to myself, oh, I can't wait to post this and, you know, like see what people think. I can't wait to, you know, like kind of like, obviously I'm not thinking this in the moment, but like subconsciously it's like, oh, I'm going to flex this trade. You know, I'm going to flex this win. And I was just taking dumb positions because of it. I was taking uncharacteristic trades and bad positions because of it, just hoping to get a win so I could show it off. Like, it was just something I had to nip, and I couldn't let go on any further because it was making my trading horrible. It was making my mindset all outside of the markets horrible. You know, I was trading like shit, and it would affect my day because of how bad I was executing and how, you know, really built myself in this last little while on being a profitable trader, like telling myself that and forcing that into my mindset. And I truly do think like one. I know I do. But that last week was just it was a down week and something I can't allow to kind of snowball, right? I had to nip it in the bud and not allow it to happen again. So I had that conversation with myself and did a lot of reflection. I wrote everything down, and man, one of the best things I've ever done, because today coming in the market, I was completely focused. My routine before I hopped on the charts was dialed. It was just, everything went amazing. And you know, I'm just going to continue to carry that in the next week. You know, it was a learning experience, something I got to take good information away from, and I'll be taking that in the next week and growing with it, learning from it, and just being a better trader for it. So I'm very grateful that, you know, I have this self-awareness to look inward and recognize, you know, I was self-sabotaging, right? Super grateful to be self-aware enough to recognize that. Like, you know, a lot of people go their whole life without recognizing that, and, you know, will refuse to kind of look inward and take that information away, right? So yeah, really thankful for that. I'm thankful for the learning opportunity. I obviously needed it, and yeah, just great way to end the week. I will be taking that in the next week, and I'm looking very forward to next week. I'm very excited, and I'm excited to get this journey. This is going to be a quick series. I know that for a fact, but I hope you guys enjoy the episodes, you know, while they're here. I'll probably do something, I don't know, like once I'm profitable, like path to a max payout after, you know, I start racking in some payouts, stuff like that. So yeah, the content will grow from this, but yeah, just thank you guys for tuning in, and I can't wait to, you know, show you guys my little journey here to being profitable. You know, it's exciting, and I love making content, so this can be something that I really enjoy, and I hope you guys enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy making it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys, you know, maybe took something away from my trade recap, and yeah, peace.